There are significant stories to cover today. Firstly, rumors suggest that Turkey may be shifting its alliances away from NATO towards Russia and Vladimir Putin, possibly to pursue oil and gas partnerships. In other news, Saudi Arabia has claimed that President Biden begged for oil, but only to win the upcoming elections. The stock market has reacted to the worsening inflation situation, while Social Security has received a considerable boost. Finally, some are speculating that Tulsi Gabbard may become the next president of the United States. Thank you for liking and sharing these videos, and a special thanks to Aura for sponsoring today's video. Now, onto the latest CPI data, which was just released this morning. Despite lower gas prices, inflation still increased by 0.4% in September when excluding gas and food. This data suggests that a recession may be looming. Core CPI rose to 6.6% for the year, the highest it has been since 1981. Despite this, the drop in energy prices has so far prevented hyperinflation. However, gas prices may soon increase, and recent data indicates that we are still experiencing a hot economy with inflation steadily rising. President Biden's failure to lower gas prices, coupled with his heavy reliance on OPEC and limitations on domestic oil supply, has caused gas prices in the U.S. to soar. The stock market initially saw a significant drop at the opening bell, but quickly recovered. This suggests that Wall Street may have implemented a large sell order to bring down the market. Nevertheless, retail investors like you and me should remain vigilant and cautious when making investment decisions. After witnessing a drop in the stock market, I panicked and sold our stocks. However, it is likely that Wall Street re-entered the market and purchased the same stocks at a lower price. As a result, Microsoft saw an increase of 3.42%, while Disney and Starbucks also experienced positive growth. Almost all of the top 100 daily traded big names on the stock market that had initially plummeted have since made significant gains for the day. Unfortunately, inflation seems to be worsening, indicating that the Federal Reserve or central bank may raise interest rates even more. This could put additional pressure on credit cards, mortgage rates, and the new and used car markets. In other news, the January 6th hearings have resumed today. According to Democratic Representative Jimmy Raskin, viewers should tune into the January 6th hearings, as they have obtained new documentary evidence and statements that clearly demonstrate the central role Donald Trump played in the events that took place. Raskin stated that Trump's overwhelming culpability in these events is now established beyond doubt. He believes that any reasonable, open-minded observer who watches the hearings will come to the same conclusion that none of it would have occurred without Trump's influence. Representative Raskin asserts that they have finally got Trump and that the whole world will see the smoking gun in the next 48 hours. Let's wait and see what they have to present to us. As per the data from the earlier summer hearings, only a small percentage of Americans, around 2%, had their opinions on the January 6th situation altered. Recently, NBC News had an interview with John Fetterman, the Democratic nominee running for the senatorial seat against Dr. Oz in Pennsylvania. Fetterman, who had previously suffered a stroke, had to read the interviewer's questions off a computer screen during the interview, as he couldn't understand them. After the interview, Fetterman received mixed reactions, with some praising him for his authenticity and performance, while others expressed doubts about his mental health and ability to carry out the responsibilities of a senator. It's heartbreaking to witness the decline in his health, and his interviews are becoming increasingly challenging to follow. Nonetheless, I admire his bravery in persisting through the adversity. However, the question remains, is he fit enough to take on the responsibilities of a senatorial seat in Pennsylvania? Many individuals have expressed doubts about his capacity to do so. Moving on, I have several significant stories to share, but before that, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge today's video sponsor, Aura. They are an identity theft protection specialist who provides fraud monitoring services, password management, and VPN for secure online browsing, all in one app. As digital advancements continue, it is more critical than ever to protect oneself from scammers and identity theft. I have personally encountered problems with scammers in the comments section of my YouTube channel. Aura has been featured in numerous prestigious publications such as Forbes, Business Insider, Wall Street Journal, and Bloomberg News. Aura provides comprehensive identity theft protection by monitoring your banking information and alerting you up to 4 times faster if your identity is being illegally used or hacked. Scammers have become increasingly sophisticated and may even impersonate you to gain your trust. Aura goes the extra mile by monitoring the dark web as well. Identity theft has increased by over 70% since 2020, according to the FBI, so it is a genuine and growing threat. Click on their link or visit aura.com/Steven to learn more about their services. As a sponsor of this video, Aura is offering a 14-day free trial for you to experience their fantastic services. Don't let scammers ruin your life or finances. Thank you again, Aura, for sponsoring this video. Now, let's return to today's news update. Recently, former Democrat Representative Tulsi Gabbard left the party and is now an independent. Despite being out of the party for less than 48 hours, data shows that she is currently the third most likely person to win the presidential election in 2024. If she connects with the Republican ticket, she could come in third place behind Ron DeSantis and Donald Trump. Gabbard may also be invited to become the next vice president and then work her way to the presidential seat. In any case, she is receiving a lot of positive feedback from Republicans and independent voters. Pfizer has been accused of telling yet another significant lie while testifying under oath about their COVID-19 vaccine. This vaccine has generated over $36 billion in sales for the company. Janine Small, a Pfizer executive, was asked during a European Parliament hearing if the company knew whether or not the vaccine could prevent the transmission of the virus. However, let me backtrack for a moment. Pfizer CEO, the CDC, FDA, President Biden, Dr. Fauci, and many others had assured us that this vaccine was a miracle solution that could stop the transmission of COVID-19 with minimal side effects. Moreover, people were told that they could either take the vaccine or lose their jobs. Furthermore, there were reports of social pressure tactics used to force individuals to take the vaccine, such as threatening them with the loss of their families, blocking their travel, preventing them from seeing loved ones, discharging them from military service, and denying them life-saving organ transplant surgeries, to name a few. We all lived through these events. During the hearing, Pfizer executive Janine Smalls testified under oath that the company never tested the vaccine's ability to prevent the transmission of COVID-19. Pfizer, Dr. Fauci, and the CDC knew this, but they continued to promote the vaccine as a miracle solution. They used this false narrative to drum up vaccine orders, apply pressure, and provide the president with the ammunition he needed to implement vaccine mandates. They also used fear-mongering tactics such as telling people that they could kill their neighbors and loved ones if they didn't take the vaccine. Despite knowing that the vaccine did not do what they claimed it did, they continued to push it on people. If you want to take the vaccine, go ahead, but be aware of the facts. It has now been revealed under oath in European courts that we have been fed a series of lies during the pandemic. It makes one wonder what else we have been misled about. Moving on to other news, we have learned more about President Biden's recent trip to Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia has disclosed that they originally intended to increase their daily oil production by 500,000 barrels, contrary to dropping it by 2 million. However, the Saudi prince changed his mind and decided to raise it by only 100,000 barrels for a short period. It's worth noting that President Biden claimed that it was his life's mission to bring justice to the Saudi prince and make him a pariah. The Biden administration later requested that Saudi Arabia keep production high, at least until the election. According to Saudi Arabia, the White House only wants to maintain lower gas prices until the election. The White House has made one final plea to Saudi Arabia to postpone the reduction in oil production for one more month. Did you know that the transatlantic pipeline used to move 2 million barrels of oil per day from Alaska, but now it barely moves 300,000 barrels? Alaska claims that the oil is still available, but they require permission to increase production. It remains uncertain whether they will receive authorization. In other news, Social Security beneficiaries will receive an 8.7% increase, which has been officially announced. However, this increment will not take effect until January of 2023. While an 8.7% increase in Social Security benefits is better than the usual 1 or 2%, it's still not enough, and there is no update on the $2,400 a month increase yet. In other news, Turkey's President Erdogan met with Russian President Putin in Kazakhstan, where Putin offered to make Turkey the gas hub of Europe. However, in exchange, the new pipeline would have to be protected by the Turkish military, and Turkey may have to turn its back on NATO. Turkey is facing inflation rates of 83%, and it seems that the country may be willing to cooperate with Russia to enrich itself. While Turkey and Russia have had a good relationship for some time, this announcement is surprising since it involves a NATO member accepting aid from Vladimir Putin. However, it's possible that Putin is simply trying to flatter a beleaguered country. There is a silver lining to Turkey potentially becoming a gas hub for Europe, as it could serve as a way to broker peace between Ukraine and Russia. However, the situation remains uncertain, and only time will tell what will come of it. It's worth noting that an 83% inflation rate, such as the one currently faced by Turkey, is almost unimaginable for many people. In other news, Russia is continuing its fourth day of attacks on Kiev, the capital of Ukraine. Reports suggest that Iranian-produced drones are being used in these strikes. Ukrainian President Zelensky believes that Russia is attacking civilians because they are losing ground in the larger war between the two countries. This ongoing conflict is heartbreaking and concerning. I observe the images and footage on a daily basis, and it is incredibly distressing. This is my current update for today, and as I acquire further information, I will undoubtedly return to share it with you.